a lot of people have to realize one thing. It's psychological, okay? And this is just a true brain in psychology. Anxiety builds because there's no action being taken.
Absolutely.
So if we're taking that same concept, speed is money, speed is time, speed is freedom, speed is all this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to increase speed and go to these quantum leaps, but don't have the actions to take in between, you're going to end up exactly right where you are.
Yeah.
Like it's just a full, like you're just going to go into a different realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to come back and you're going to be sitting right here and me and you will have the same conversation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. Oh, I'm so excited to jump into this topic with you today with a very special guest. Today, we're actually talking about all things corporate wellness with none other than Bina Bendale. So let me first introduce her to you, and then we will just hop right in. So Bina Bendale is a RN and a board-certified nurse coach. She is a powerhouse speaker and innovator with over 18 years of experience in emergency medicine. As the founder of the Nurse Coach Business Accelerator and creator of the Silent Struggle Solution, she empowers HR leaders and corporate teams to create healthier, more human-centered workspaces. She's a devoted mother to 3 special needs children. Bina brings unmatched wisdom on balancing personal resilience with professional purpose. Her work, featured on NBC and TEDx, is redefining wellness through clarity, compassion, and no judgment support. Welcome, Bina.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for that. Thank you for that big old talk. Wow.
Sure, you're welcome. Always. Just for you, my dear. You guys, I got to share before we hop into our topic of discussion today. I have to share with you how I met Bina. And I feel like I've known her for quite some time. Nahowever, we've only really known each other for a few months here. And we met at a conference in Vegas back in July. National Nurses and Business Association. And as I walked into the main conference room, she was standing there speaking with the president, Nina, and the president of the organization, which is Nina. And so it was like this little 3 of us, little pod of 3 of us. And we start talking, and immediately I'm like, I love this girl. I've known her for 10 seconds and I just love her. And she was so gracious because we were, as we were kind of talking and getting to know each other. And then, during the breaks, we would kind of congregate again and start talking. And she said, you know what, you should come sit at my booth and just bring all your stuff over and sit at my booth. And I'm like, well, how gracious and beautiful is that? So anyway, I just appreciate your beautiful spirit, your loving heart, your giving heart, and you're just and your brilliant mind. You're just amazing. So hey, Bina.
Oh, thank you. As I had to cough right in the middle of it, right?
No worries.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was an immediate energy connection for sure when we both met. And yeah, you're right. I can't believe it's July.
I know. Time is flying by.
It feels like, well, first of all, that conference felt like a year ago. And you're right. I felt like I traveled with you all throughout these years. And you were in Bali. Comes up. I just feel like I've known you forever. It's one of those people where you just instantly gravitate towards and you're just like, yeah, you're my people. Let's hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Likewise, no doubt. Yeah. So oh my gosh. Well, I'm always interested. I'm sure everyone who's listening is interested to know, like, how did you go from ER nurse to corporate wellness? Like let me say it like this, from ER nurse to entrepreneur, focusing on corporate wellness. So can you just kind of take us through that journey? Why did you even transition? All the things.
So my journey is actually it's complicated, and yet it's not very complicated. And it'll sound like a cliche story, meaning like that can never happen to me. And the answer is it can happen to you because it happened to me, right? And it really came back down to like when my son was born. Rohan was medically challenged, and at bedside, I was labeled very quickly as the child that, the kid that called in sick all the time, or she comes in, and HR. It's again, like I said about this, is like, they're like, oh, she calls off every Wednesday. It's like, well, yeah, because I have childcare issues or I have this. And, I was trying my best to show up and to be as present as I can. But family took place.
Yeah.
I went to a traditional EAP, not clowning any EAP support out there, but they just didn't know what to do with me. And this was now again, 10, 11 years ago. And that's when it really sparked my idea of like, I knew I needed to do something more. I know I needed to do something. There has to be a solution for parents with special kids. There has to be a solution for us because this whole, I don't know what to do with you. I'm not sure how to help, late again. It's like, well, if your kid is having meltdowns or comes up, like hire help. And I'm like, well, it doesn't work in my
It's not
world.
that simple.
Like it's not that simple, right?
Yeah.
And so the frustration grew bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I started gravitating, even at bedside, I started gravitating towards the parents, especially when we had pediatric codes and what they would call a high sprung parent in the room. And I'm like, you guys, they just want to feel loved, heard, and supported.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, at the end of the day, the minute I came in with a non-judgmental bias, I come up, I would tell them the truth. I'd be like, look, you're acting like a fool. If they're acting like a fool, like that, cut it off. That's not going to get you anywhere. And they just really was just like, you know what, we really appreciate that. We just needed somebody to come to us on that ground level and just be like, we can't do this. And I understand your frustration. And there was nothing for me to give them. And I
Mm.
think that's what really drove me really to this entrepreneurship. I was like, you know what? If I feel this way, I'm sure hundreds and thousands of other people are feeling this way.
Yep.
And when I found the nurse coaching, and in general, a nurse coach is just, I tell people the fastest way to describe it is you have a whole lot of medical background with a life coach, and they had sex, and out came a nurse coach.
Pretty much.
That's really what it is.
That's a very simple yet accurate description. I love
All
it.
it is, okay?
It is pretty much.
And we're
Yeah.
using holistic modalities, so we're using a lot of Eastern, an
Yeah.
Eastern medicine twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not rocket scientists.
Yeah. No.
Like we're just good at what we do because we're going back to basics.
That's right.
And so that's really what I did. I went to a program and I was like, this is what was missing. This is what was missing in my life. I just didn't know what I didn't know until I was in the program. And
Mm-hmm.
then the whole question of like, oh, you need to get a client. You need to do 5, you have to have 6 people to do your clients to get the certification, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like I was like, man, this is a lot of work. Like to get 6 unpaid clients, like I was like,
Yeah.
wow. Luckily, a lot of friends, families, they were all doing it. But I'm like, how is this sustainable in a business? Right. I knew my client, I knew my avatar, I knew what I wanted to do. And it was very early on that I was already breaking that. I was already breaking that box. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I remember a couple of my mentors back in the day was like, oh, you can't do one to many. Like that's unheard of. You got to do one-on-one first. You got to do this first. And then I kind of did this hashtag watch me.
I love that. Wait a minute. Can I just I just got to interject because this is so important that oftentimes so we have to be very careful of who we share our goals and dreams with because oftentimes people will put their limitations on
Yes.
you as if it's fact.
Yeah.
But just because it was their path, perhaps that they went one-to-one first and then one to many. And I do think, I think there's some benefits to that, but still, just because that was their route does not mean that they have to put you in a box. And so that's another reason why I think we're just kindred spirits. We have like this little disruptor energy, like tell me I can't, and guess what? I'm gonna show you that I can.
Yeah. So that's where the hashtag watch me came out.
I love it. Yes.
And so then I realized, like, actually, while I was in the collective, while I was getting my certification, I already had a full practice. Like before I even left, all my free clients turned into paid clients because I offered value. I comes in, they're like, oh my God, we need this. This is what we support, right? Because I was really clear with my audience too. And I was one of the few people that was very like, oh, this is what I'm doing. This is what comes in. Where a lot of people are like, I'm not sure. And that comes in. I said, because I've already had the experience. I already knew what I was like trying to figure out. And now it was just like, that was the glue that was missing for me.
Got it.
And honestly, that's really how I was like, okay, one to many. Let's do this. How can I like make this faster and
ramp it up.
how to utilize my speech to many people versus doing one-to-one. I just was just like, that just seems like a slower paced for me. Also, me being in the ER background, I'm like, I need that faster paced in general. Like that's just ingrained.
Yep.
So that's when I started co-creating. I was like, if there's not an EAP, an employee assistant program that's out there that helps parents with special needs with it, I'm like, I'm going to create one.
Yeah.
So I did it.
I
And
love
I
it.
did.
So don't lose your train of thought here, but I just want to point out, you guys, she saw a gap and she filled the gap. And so I
Yeah.
want to just encourage you, those of you out there, because oftentimes when we start out in business, particularly coaching, and health coaching specifically, because of our training as nurses, we've been trained to help everybody
Mhm.
from the elderly population to, mother
Right.
baby to everything in between, right? And so, but when you are in this day and age, you can't be a generalist. You
Yeah.
absolutely must be a specialist, which means you absolutely have to find a niche, or you have to not find it, but just pick it. Just pick
Pick
a
one.
niche, and so and look for the things, look for the gap. So that's exactly
Yeah.
what you said, Bina. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm having all these challenges. There's nothing is really there to support me. Guess
Yeah.
what? I'm going to create it.
Yeah.
Found a
And
need
it was
and
a
you
challenge.
create it. I'm sure it
And
was.
it was a huge challenge because
Yeah.
now I'm told multiple times, like, no, this is not going to work. I come
Mhm.
in, and they're like, oh, you can't, this is, no one's ever done this before. And I'm sure there has,
Yeah.
you know.
But even better, listen, I always say no one's done it until someone's got to do it. So
So,
I
right,
never look at that as a deterrent. I'm like, oh, no one's done it. I guess it's me.
right. And I guess and that's how I really got labeled as the first nurse coach
Love
into
it.
corporation.
Uh-huh.
Because if there was somebody, no one documented, no one comes in, no one did it to a level or a scalable level that I have done it. Now,
Yeah.
there's other nurses that's done multiple things. I'm specifically talking about nurse coaching in
Right.
general.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make that distinction here. And, actually what ended up happening was, the universe talks. The universe talks to you when you don't seem to understand it. You're not sure what's happening. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually had an old sorority sister. I haven't spoken to her in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even know why her feed even came up on my social media.
Yeah.
Like, no idea. Okay. Woke up this one day and her feed popped up. First thing I read, my company is looking to hire a therapist.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to try it. What is the worst they're going to do? Tell me no? She
Right.
probably not even remember me. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? So I messaged her independently. I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm not a therapist. One, I would love to reconnect. And two, I'm not a therapist, but I'm a nurse coach. Emails me, messages me right back. She goes, of course I remember you. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, good. And, being in that sorority line, right?
Mhm.
It's always the positive intent is always there. So I didn't have to
Mhm.
co-create that positive intent. And she's like, let me know what you're doing. So I sent her whatever I had. She goes, this is interesting. She goes, let me forward this to, I'm going to email my direct or my boss. And I'm just thinking her boss is just, again, lovingly, me being naive, just another person higher up than her, right?
Uh-huh.
Didn't ask where she was in the company, didn't know what anything, again, I just
Mhm.
walked in completely blind.
Yeah.
And here's the main thing that a lot of people have to realize. When you put your mind to something and when you tell somebody that, especially in these corporate wellness or this corporate space and in any space, don't waste my time. I don't want to waste your time.
Mhm.
You know, even though me and you didn't hit record on my broadcast, but that's okay.
Y'all, funniest thing ever. We had the best conversation. Oh my God. The best conversation just a few days ago, and we didn't record it. Oh my God. So
But
yeah,
that's
we
okay
get you.
though. But that wasn't
That's right.
that wasn't for me. It wasn't a wasted time. I just
No,
say it as a blessing that I get to be with you more.
I thank you, and I feel the same way. So I love
So
it.
then I got on this call, and here's the thing. When I jumped on this call with this HR director, I didn't know that she was the lead, she was the decision maker. Like, I didn't know, but I already knew they were looking for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did know, that they
Yeah.
are looking for something innovative. Girl, I had COVID. All three kids were home. I was in a tank top. My hair was in a messy bun. I had a puppy that was just like running up and down. I was sitting on the sofa. I didn't even have a voice.
Oh boy.
And I still showed up on this call.
Mm-hmm.
One, because remind yourselves, like during that time, everyone's like, you have COVID. I'm like, you can't get COVID through a screen. So I'm still showing up. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
let's just be honest about that. And it was an excuse. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the excuse of I can't do something.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do it. Showed up on this call. And I still to this day, she'll tell you very clearly. She's like, so tell me more about this. And I'm like, this is what I want to deal with. This is what I talk about. Releasing this judgment, releasing these things, releasing that I have to show up perfect
Mm-hmm.
for this call with a
Mm-hmm.
business thing and all the makeup done. Like, I don't even have my hair and makeup done here, you know? and show up and just
Yeah.
show up to the call.
Yeah.
And literally, she was like, "Where have you been? This is exactly what we're looking for."
Yeah. This is so good. Bina, you have said so many things. I just want to really point them out and underscore them. One, you said an intention.
Yeah.
And it all starts there. You set an intention of what it is that you wanted. You didn't, and it didn't, doesn't sound like you have much attachment to how it was going to come into fruition.
Yeah.
You just set the intention. So that's
Yeah.
one thing. Then, there's a saying that I have in another community, and it's a ludicrous song actually, but it's when you move, I move, just like
Oh,
that. And
yeah.
you moved, and guess what? The universe moved. It conspired to bring forth to you exactly what you set your intention to. So this random person, not random, but this person just randomly shows up on your feed, and you didn't second guess it, you didn't overthink it. And I think this is so important to mention. You took inspired action.
Yeah.
I talk about inspired action all the time. So many times we if something like that were to happen, we, again, as nurses, we're overthinkers and over analytical, and it has served us very well at the bedside, but
Right.
not always so much necessarily in business, because
Yeah.
we would have been in our head. I wonder why she popped up on my screen. What should I say? What if I don't say it right? What if she doesn't remember me? Da, 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 and all the things. And yet you took inspired action. And from you taking inspired action, understanding that it showed up at precisely the right time it was supposed to show. She showed up on your timeline precisely at the right time that she was supposed to sign up, right? You did the thing, and you did it in quote unquote imperfectly. And I really want to just share this because you guys, it's so, as a recovering perfectionist, I get it. But the reality of it is, perfectionism is really just it's fear disguised. Because we'll
Yeah.
hide behind perfectionism and not move forward. Well, it's not perfect. It ain't never going to be perfect. Bina had her hair in a bun. She had 3 sick kids. She had COVID. That ain't a perfect scenario.
It was not. It was
stretch of the imagination.
Girl, that was like the stress. It was stressful to an extent, but I just accepted it.
Right.
And in that moment, I think I had COVID. I think I might have had COVID brain, COVID bug. I don't know.
Probably.
I just showed up.
Imperfect action. And yet, well, here's the thing, it's authenticity too.
Authenticity wins.
You just showed up as your authentic self, despite all the other things, and look at what came from it. And please do continue on and share with us what came from it.
It was beautiful. We were on the call for about 30 minutes, and she was laughing her head off. Like, she was just, I was like, I'm so sorry. She goes, this is what, and I told her, this is the gap that I'm filling. Yeah. This is where, if I were to help anyone else in this situation, not be perfect, not be inauthentic, feeling like they're overwhelmed and still not show up, let's focus on that, because then HR directors, you don't want to do 2 jobs. I'm like, let me deal with that. I know how to do it. 2, people want to come to work because they feel loved, heard, and supported.
That's it.
They come to work, and then the ROI on the companies now is people are more patient. People are more empathetic. ROIs is going to be 10 times more because
retention.
It's going to increase retention, increase productivity, and then at the end of the day, it's going to increase income.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's like, and so when I stated that, and she told me this, she's like, oh, so you basically reversed engineered leadership programs. I said 100%, because I truly do believe that a good leadership program needs to focus on the home balance first. You can come to work being the smartest person in the world, but if your home life is going to hell and going to shit, you're not going to want to come to work. How many of us can really be functional?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask the question again.
No, I was going to say, how many people can honestly be functional if their house is in turmoil? And I'm talking about whatever that means for you,
right?
Whether that's your dog dying, whether that's somebody going through cancer, maybe it's something that you just got a newly diagnosis on yourself and you're trying to figure that out. Maybe you got a new person in your life that you're trying to balance that energy around.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the color of the sky that morning. I have no idea. Right.
Right.
Point is that you are your true authentic self in your house.
Right.
In your surroundings. Be confident there. Figure that out first, because then that's going to correlate into work, not the other way around. Like, you can be the best leader And I've had this happened to me multiple times. I've worked with so many C-suites and CEOs in my life or in my time.
Mm-hmm.
And they all said the same thing. They go, I can be the best leader in the world, but if I don't practice what I preach at home,
Mm-hmm.
who am I?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're so right. No matter what is going on at home, it is inevitably going to show up in your workplace. It's going to show up in your business. For the
Business,
those are
friends,
entrepreneurs, it's going to
anywhere.
show up in business, it's going to show up at work, it's going to show up in your leadership, it's going to show up. You can't we can compartmentalize only to a certain extent, and then we can't. It's going to spill. I always call it leaking. I'll say, okay, you're leaking.
Yep.
and
Syndrome.
yeah, and it's like, okay, we've got to really address that. And so I love that you're addressing that, Bina. And so I know that people are listening, they're like, oh my God, well, how did she land the contracts or whatever? So you share with us this first experience, it was a connection that she just happened to be, her boss was in the C-suite, right?
It was. I didn't know that. That's the other thing.
That's so cool.
I had no idea. I didn't know who this lady was. And I love Dome. I'm going to give credit to Dome, where credit is given. Dome was the first ever company to hire a nurse coach.
Sweet.
Now, that it's to this day, they're still the first ever one, and that's why I always want to give credit to them, because they took a chance. I had no idea that the person was the decision maker. Mm-hmm. 2, we got on a second call. Okay, she was just like, I love this, I'm going to talk about this. The second call was literally around budget. She was like, and I didn't know this, again, just being in the right time, the right place with the right circumstances. Mm-hmm. I got off that first call and I was like, oh, whoa, I think this is going somewhere. Because my husband's like, did you just realize what you did? And I'm like, nope. I got up and I walked off. I was just like, so the second call, it took me 2 calls. Mm-hmm. Now, this is not the normal. Yeah. Right? This is not the normal. I want to remind people, this is not the normal. So I went on the second call with her, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks later. And she's like, okay, tell me how much you charge. So I gave her a price. Okay. And I was like in between. I knew she was going to ask me all these questions. So I had a very steep line in educating myself. Okay. Talk about clarity. You got to get real clear, very quickly. Yeah. So I did. And I
love it that you even did your homework, because so many people would have been like, I don't know, like what can you afford to pay? Absolutely not.
Oh, you have to be. Yes. The number one thing I tell people, like whether you're in my program or not, or you learning from me, is I hate when people say bullshit your way around. You can bullshit your way around,
some things, but
not educational bullshit.
Yeah.
Do you think it makes sense? There's a huge difference. There are people that can come in and sell you everything with no knowledge. Then there's people who can sell you things with knowledge. Mm-hmm. And you need to be in that place where you can sell with knowledge.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you become sleazy and this and that. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just like walking to a car salesman person. I love him, love y'all. But every time I walk into a dealership, it's like, do you want your car back? I'm like, no, I want my car. No.
Exactly.
Get off. Why do I want a new payment? Like,
I know.
But then if they came to me in a loving approach, okay, that's a whole nother.
It's authentic. I know. But I have a question. I have a question around, did you, because this was new for you, right? This is a new arena for you. Yeah. Was there ever a point in time at that juncture? Was it a point in time where you felt like either I'm gonna undercharge, like inadvertently, like what was your thought process? And did imposter syndrome kick in? Did you shrink, or did you just step up and step into your power? Like, tell me about that.
Everything. I wanted to vomit.
Yeah.
Charging. Yeah. I had no idea what to charge. Mm-hmm. None. Because again, I asked mentors. A lot of people didn't even know that. A lot of people were like, oh, you will never get this. There was a lot of doubt in my head. Mm-hmm. And actually, it was my husband's uncle, very well-known brander, and like very blessed to have family that was able to really sit me down and was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to like things. And, and I asked him, I'm like, I don't know what to charge. And he goes, you're going to charge the moon. Good. And then we're going to negotiate. And I was like,
love it. I love your uncle. What's your uncle's name? Shout out to your uncle.
His name is Glenn. Shout out to Glenn. Shout out to Glenn. And honestly, like he spent hours and hours with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just this, like, again, this is why, your inner circle matters, right?
Yes, it
And utilizing
does.
your resources matter. So when that came up and, he offered this to me, um, very well. He was just like, you're going to do this and this is what we're going to do. So I did. And I did. And I'm like, you know what? What's the worst that's going to happen? Tell me no. And then I'm
Exactly.
just wherever I'm at.
Exactly. Love
And
it.
so we kind of had to do a market analysis of
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is what people do. This is what therapists cost. They were looking for a therapist, but we're not going to charge as a therapist because we're not a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put my nursing license like as
Absolutely.
what it's supposed to be worth.
Yes.
So I added my hourly rate in there plus extra and all this other stuff.
Yep.
And so I told this lady this number, and she literally did this. Kid you not? I don't know if this is all recording, if you can see me do this, but like in general, for people who are listening, I had a pen and paper. She had a pen and paper, and she literally started writing numbers down. And she goes at me, she goes, that's about right.
I love it.
That was it. She
Yeah.
goes, that's about right. That's about right where I was thinking I was going to spend this money.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. And then that was literally after that, she was just like, okay, send me the letter of intent, send me your contract, we'll sign it. And we have like 2 or 3 people that's already, we're going to send your way.
Sweet.
Girl, my husband straight up, again, I was in the kitchen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get off the call and my husband's like, do you know what just happened? And I'm like, nope, not one bit.
I love it.
And he's like, so he's calculating it on the back end, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, if they had X amount of employees and if they all come to you, remember, this is an a la carte. So people have the choice to come to me. People don't, just like in the AP system.
Right.
He goes, that's $500,000. And I was like,
so let me ask you this. Did you charge per head, air quotes, per head or per person? Or did you say this is the package and I can, support X amount of people in this?
No.
This
So I kept it I always keep it very open-ended. And I don't want to push companies into something that they may or may not use.
Mm-hmm.
So I always leave it where, I want to be embedded into the entire system.
Mm-hmm.
So I look for contracts that are going to be open-ended. And what I mean by that is this is the difference, and this is where the skill set comes in on how I teach other people how to do this, is you want to build that relationship so that way you become their 911.
Yes, I love. Say that again, Bina, because I need y'all to get this. If you're driving, pull over and write it down, or maybe not, but still. but if you're not driving and you are taking notes, write this down because it's so important. I talk about this all the time about the importance of relationships. And go ahead, just say exactly what you said.
Yeah, you really need to build that relationship. It's the relationship that is going to sell, and you want to be that person's 911. So they need to trust you to a level of feeling loved, heard, and supported for themselves first. The minute you build that relationship, whether it's through comedy, whether it's take them out for lunch, it's up to you on what you want to co-develop. Then, only then, is when that relationship starts building into the corporate world. Once I have that relationship, I then just become an added benefit. This is what I do. This is my model. I become an added benefit. So they do the marketing for me internally. They send an email blast. They come up. It's just like another funnel that comes to me. And then I just charge at the end of the month. Now, here's the thing. Trust is huge when it comes to corporations. They don't want you to feel like you're going to overcharge. And overcharge is I look for long-term contracts. I rather have a contract and be with that company for years to come than have like a $50,000 month and then it's a one and done.
No, right.
I don't teach a lot of one and done methods.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. It's not smart business, and no one wants that roller coaster income. And
it's just
so I'm with you,
up and down, up and down,
1,000%. And let's not dispute over the fact, Bina, because we did kind of dispute over. But I'm going to click the little rewind button. Yes, she did say $500,000.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I close Yes, I do close because I look for specific companies. I invest in them. I understand what they're doing. I go to places where directors are in
Hmm.
those rooms, just like how me and you met.
Yeah.
All I look for is like one or two connections in a room. I'm not looking to serve the entire
Oh
audience.
my gosh. And that goes, I love that you said it because it's so apropos here with what we're
Yeah.
just talking about. But in general, again, I think oftentimes when nurses are kind of shifting from a clinical setting to the entrepreneurial world, they're like, I want to help everybody. That's the
Yeah.
biggest kiss of death.
It's a
No,
no. You might
don't,
as well just
no.
go back to bedside.
Just go ahead. Just say, yeah, I
You
agree.
might as well go back to bedside if you're doing that
Yeah.
because there's no need for you to leave. Here's the reason why. It's because entrepreneurship is hard work.
Hmm.
There's a lot of in person, a lot of social media. There's a lot of different things. People, when they come to me, they go, I want to work 3 days a week, then stay at bedside. Like,
Well, hold on, but you
yeah,
can. So yes, and
and
I got to get at the end to that
yeah,
because the way that I've created my business now, this was not day one. This wasn't even year one.
right.
but can you work a 3 hour work week? Absolutely. I actually just
Absolutely.
posted on that today. Absolutely. However, number one, you've got to be really clear on what it is that you want, and does it align with how you are serving, right?
Right.
So again, you and I are kind of slightly. I mean, we have some overlap, but different worlds in that corporate. So I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe 3 days a week is not
You
feasible
can.
in corporate,
You can.
but for
I
sure.
can do
Uh-huh.
everything in 3 hours. I can work 10-hour work weeks. There's no
Yeah,
questions. All I'm
perfect.
stating is that it is developed over time. It
That
is
part,
not
that part.
something
Yeah.
that's why I said
Yes.
and.
Yes.
Yes, you can. And
And
like
yeah.
it's not going to come up. Like the hustle and bustle of like when we were at bedside, when we for at least when I first started like 50, 20 years ago, I
Mhm.
had rotating shifts,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh
One
yeah.
week I was on nights, the next week I was on evenings, one day I was on days, like it was rotating.
Yeah.
And basically we just took the grunt of the shifts,
It's
correct?
true. Yes.
Until you build seniority.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same concept when you're taken into the corporate world or as you're going into entrepreneurial or CEO to bedside,
Yeah.
is you still got to
That's
do the
SEO. Yeah.
work.
Yeah. For
You
sure.
you got to put the work in, know your clarity, know who your audience is, know
Yes.
what you're saying, have a real good understanding of what your legacy wants to be,
Right.
right? And what you want to imprint. So yes, when I close these larger contracts, it's because I come from a high level of clarity of knowing what my service purpose is. It's very clear with my service driven model. It's a very service driven model,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And when I
And
come from that service driven model, companies are not looking at me as a dollar sign for a wellness program. It's not
yes.
an app, it's not this, it's not that, because you can't buy humanism. That's what we're
True.
bringing back.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say if you had to summarize it, maybe three to five words, what it is that you do, or
Mhm.
well, let me say it differently. Uh, the value that you bring to a corporation, what would that be? How would you summarize that?
I help the employees feel loved, heard, and supported
Love it.
by humanism. It's
Simple,
very simple words. And
simple,
if
and
you
simple
don't
and
have that,
powerful.
yeah.
Simple
How
and
many
powerful. Yeah.
companies or how many people have honestly left work fields, any work field?
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm talking about corporate. And remember, hospitals are the biggest, largest organizations, corporations in the world. So when
Yeah.
people say healthcare is separate from corporate world,
No, corporate
that's a
America.
misconception. Like it's
Right.
all
It's all
corporate
the
America.
same.
Okay.
Yes.
Like it is all business.
Yeah.
And healthcare is probably the most diplomatic healthcare. It's just
Mhm.
the worst, actually,
Right.
compared to these other smaller businesses that actually do care about their employees. But that's a whole nother conversation.
We'll have to
Um,
do that for that. But go ahead.
yeah. But that's another conversation because I can
Yeah.
get heated on that one.
Girl, me too.
But in those ones, like you want to find those CEOs that wants to really help their employees,
Yeah.
right? That really cares for them, that wants that mom pop vibe. They want those people to stay with them,
They
5, 6,
care.
10 years. They
They
care. They
care
are
about their
engaged. They go
people.
to their
Yeah.
weddings. They go to their babies' christenings or birthday parties.
Yeah.
Like you want that type of environment.
Right.
And I think when you're not feeling loved, heard, or supported in any one of those categories,
You're
you're
out.
going to look for another job.
Absolutely. In fact, I remember reading an article a long time ago, and it said the number one reason that people leave jobs, it's not because of money.
Yeah.
it's because they're not feeling, I don't know if they use these exact words, but I'm going to use your words in this instance, but it is because they're not feeling seen, supported, seen, heard, or
Yeah.
supported. That is the number one reason.
Yeah. They're not moving
Absolutely.
up the corporate
Nope.
ladder.
Nope.
They're like they had children
Yeah.
and they're not being the support that they need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe there's a grief or a loss that occurred that they have
Right.
to relocate.
Yeah.
Um, maybe they were saying the same thing over and over in board meetings and somebody else said one thing and then they're like, I've been saying this for years.
Oh gosh, I've heard that so
You know,
many times.
like,
Yeah.
how many times? And you're just like, "Why would I stay at a company for doing that?"
Yeah.
So here, I really give that empowerment back to the
I
employees
love it.
to really teach them and to really give them that space for them to feel loved, heard, and supported because now the company is not handling it. Me and
Mhm.
my team is,
Yes.
right?
And so let's go there for a second. Cause I know I can already hear the questions that you guys are asking me to ask her, which is one, like what does that look like? Like for you, like what does that type of support look like in terms of if this is daily, if this is virtual, is it in person, is it hybrid? And then the second question that I know they're dying to ask is because you said uh like they're wondering how do you find these people or these companies, these people in these companies. So you can tackle it however you want to tackle it, Bina.
So how I do it, it's I do them all virtually.
Okay.
I do all my calls virtually for 2 reasons. One, sometimes they're doing it well. Some of these employees take time out of their work. It's up to the company if they allow that.
Hmm.
Um, and 2, it's like if they're taking it outside work, it's just more confidential. There's just a little bit more things behind that. I have
Hmm.
done some in person, but the in person one does charge more
Of course.
because I got to take away, and I was very honest with them. You are now taking away from my passion, which are my children. And the whole reason why I had to quit was because of my
Right.
children
Right.
and having that flexibility. I
Yeah.
don't want to be put in a box where I have to drive and be in traffic.
Right.
Um, so there are some stuff that are in person. There's a lot that's, via 95% of it, it's either a phone call or via Zoom.
Love it.
So it fits that. And I've had parents call me at, certain times because their kids are in bed. Okay, then let's talk then. I'm
Hmm.
okay with that as
Yeah.
long as it doesn't disrupt my cycle. Because
Yeah.
I want people to hear I'm very, very strict with my boundaries.
Yes. Say it again, Bina. Say it again.
I am very, very strict with my boundaries.
Yes, y'all. Here's the thing too, and I've from coaching thousands of women over the last several decades. One misconception that is so pervasive is that you're at the whim of them. Like you have to
Okay.
be able to bend over backwards and
Yeah.
and alienate
Yeah.
toss away what's important to you, what's important for your family, because you're at the whim of them, and particularly because oh well, I'm charging them. So here's the thing: that's backwards. That's outdated thinking, and we're not here for that.
Yeah.
I literally posted about this today. It is our job to get 100% clear on what it is that we want to create. How is it going to fit into our now current lifestyle? Just
Yeah.
because something, just because we see it modeled a certain way does not
Yeah.
mean
Work for
it's going to
you.
work for you. So
No.
you've got to get clear on what's important to you. What are your like core values? What are your non-negotiables as it relates to you, your health, your life, your children, your husband, all of that, lifestyle, and even income. And
You
so
got
I
to
love that you said that, Bina.
Yeah, you have to have boundaries. Like now in my contracts, it's very tight as well, stating if
Mhm.
I am past a certain time, I charge them double.
Love it. Absolutely.
And it's a choice. At the end of the day, that's a choice for me to do it or not. Not that I'm sitting here saying, oh my God, I got to take all these calls and they come up. And yes, it's
Mhm.
overwhelming. There's days that it's overwhelming, even for me, where I'm like, woof,
Mhm.
okay, where did all these people come from on my calendar? But I also protect my calendar.
I
It's
love
not
that.
open. Like, yes,
Please.
there's opens, but there's
Yeah.
blocked spots. And I say this to a lot of people, especially in my programs, where I'm like, if you don't see a time on the calendar, it is probably blocked off.
Yeah.
You're going to have to email me and ask me so that way I can either say yes or no, or we can talk about have a conversation. But
Yeah.
everybody knows you will not get a hold of me past 5 o'clock.
I love it. I love it.
Pacific Standard
And
Time. You won't get
I
a hold of me.
I love that. And you guys, I want you to just know this is not something you have to work your way up to. So again, I
No,
can just hear you guys. Well, I'm new, so I have no. You know, no.
no.
You start day one.
Now,
Day
no.
one.
You got to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to answer your second question because I want to
Mhm.
hit this real quick. I have 3 children, all
Mhm.
young. They're 11, 8, and 7.
Mhm.
Okay. When I started my business 5 years ago, minus that, minus five. So
Right.
it's five minus what's 8 minus 5? 3.
Something like that.
So, yeah, something like that.
Yes,
So they
3.
were like 2,
Yes.
3, and 5.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
They were little. They were
They were
little.
tiny. They
They
were
were
babies
yeah.
still. They were still
Mhm.
in diapers. They were still napping. They were still comes in. Why I'm such a hard I do not negotiate on my children.
Yeah.
That is a non-negotiable for me.
Right.
I have little timers in here. I don't have one on me because they went downstairs. Is that if my kids were to come upstairs, I put a timer on saying mommy will be with you in about 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Put a timer on and I go. But guess what? In 30 minutes, me and your conversations are
It's
done
over.
and I go straight to my kids.
Love it.
So you want to realize like there's a certain you have to know your values on what you're doing because I'm not a yes ma'am. I 100%. I am not a yes ma'am person.
Yeah.
Meaning you will get on my calendar. It is a privilege to be on my calendar. And I don't say
Yeah.
that in any entitlement way
No, it is, in
whatsoever.
fact, and I think that we have to change our perspective. Oh, I'm just a nurse, and here, girl, this is a whole other conversation because
Oh,
this goes back to healthcare culture, nurse culture,
mm,
women. I mean,
oh yeah,
so again, a whole other conversation for a whole other
yeah,
day. But respect yourself and who you are and what you do and the value that you bring. And I don't care if you're brand
right.
new;
It doesn't matter.
it
It
doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter.
It doesn't matter. It's not. You
It
just need to
doesn't
be
matter.
confident in what you're doing and
That's
how.
right.
And the people who are hearing this and they're like, "Well, I'm new and I don't this and I don't got that."
And
Work on
I'm
your
sorry.
self-confidence.
It
Work
is.
on who you are. Who
Right.
are you today?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do today?
Right.
Not who you were yesterday, because yesterday was already the past and
That's
it's
right.
already history or herstory,
Right.
however you guys want to call it,
Yep.
right? So it's like, but what? And you can't do nothing for the future. Like I tell people this, you can't focus on the future. Yes, I can plan for it, but there's no real plan, to be
Right.
honest, right? We
Yeah.
can only change and have and feel and notice whatever's going on right here, right now,
Present.
and be
Absolutely.
present in the now.
Yeah.
Focus on the now, not what's going to happen to me in 10 years. I had none of this was going to happen to me 5 years later. I
Right.
didn't know that I was going to close over $10 million in deals,
Yeah.
have a whole staff and a whole coaching industry and doing on like I
Yeah.
had no idea that any of this was going to go all because I just said yes. And I said
That's it.
yes. And when I said yes, I set that intention of like, well, when this goes, this is going to come up. So to answer your next question, I already hear this. How do you find these people?
Mhm.
Got to know your avatar. What complete like name that one person.
Yeah.
Who would you if you had one person
One
to
person.
if
Mhm.
you had one person to serve, what age? What's their eye color? What's their personality? What are you? You're like, nope, I'm not touching. Like, I will not touch narcissist. Okay.
Oh,
I
girl.
won't touch narcissist and I won't touch weight loss. Y'all like don't even talk to me. If
That's
I
so
get Uber
funny.
Jubers on my call, we're gone. Like I'm saying goodbye to you. Like we're done.
If you get what?
Uber Jubers, like if I get like that weird vibe
Oh
from
yeah.
you,
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
like some
Which,
people you just see and you're just like, oh,
but you know what? That's a really great point too, because again, this goes back into knowing you. This goes back into trusting yourself, and because you will get those the icks, the uber, I would
you
say uber
will
goobers, the way, and you guys have to trust that if you're
trust them.
getting this internal nudge, and if you're getting this and you're like, I don't know, you might not even be able to articulate what it is, but there's
Yeah,
something like, I don't know, it's a no, walk away, you're fine.
you're
and
fine.
and understand that if when you start operating from a place of abundance, a lot, because again, oftentimes you're like, but I have to have a client. No, all money ain't good money. Let's start there, right? And trust me, if you ignore that inner guidance, that nudge, mm-mm,
Oh,
mm-mm,
you're gonna be in a whole
mm-mm.
you're gonna hate your job. You're not
Yes.
gonna be happy.
No.
Business needs to be fun.
Yes.
You have to have fun making money. I'm a big believer in that.
Absolutely.
It's like another coach was saying this, and shout out to her. She says, "Welcome to her playground." So,
Mhm.
I'm giving her credit where credit is due because it is. You have to have fun. I say,
Absolutely.
"Welcome to fun." It's funny. She says, "Welcome to the playground."
I
And
love
I'm
it.
like, if we're not gonna sit here and dance and have fun and enjoy
Right.
then, we're just
We're
playing a
playing a
game.
game.
We're playing a
Yeah.
game that
And
doesn't
I'm not here
last,
for that.
and
Right.
we're
And
not
it's
doing that.
funny you said that, because I say this. If I always say, if I'm not having fun, I'm not doing it. And I mean that.
Oh,
If
I
I
mean
am
that
not
too.
having fun, I am not doing it.
Yeah,
And if it starts to feel unfun in any way, shape, or form, then I'm
I'm out.
shifting something. I'm
Exactly.
either out. Well, first I'll
I'm
make
out.
no. Here's the thing. I'll make the determination. Do I need to shift something, or do I need to be peace out? Like, and more times than not, I just need to shift something, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, if it's not fun, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not.
You're funny. You say that, I'm like, peace
Peace
out.
out.
I just walk away. And
Yeah.
the reason why is because the minute for only for myself, the
Mhm.
minute I go peace out and walk away, then I can honestly sit there and evaluate what went right, what went wrong, what
Yeah.
made me walk out. Because
Mhm.
then I'm going to that bird-eyed view. Like, why did I leave that park?
Yeah.
What was wrong with it? Oh, it was too noisy. It was by this thing. Okay, well, I need a quieter park.
Mhm.
Okay, let me find that. So
Yeah.
it goes back to, how do I find these deals? I find the park that needs to fit my needs.
Mhm.
I find where they are. I know where they are. So if, like with my parents, I help parents with special needs, right? That's one of my companies. I help parents with special kids and help
Mhm.
the parent side of things, right? The parent support. Well, where are those parents? They're they're 100% not at, they may be at a gym. I can tell
Probably
you where
not. They're probably not at the gym.
maybe
Yeah.
so. They're in school parking
For
lots.
sure.
They're at clinics.
Yeah.
They're at doctor's offices,
Yeah.
right? They're at home, 90, if
Mhm.
not, they're at home.
Mhm.
So communities, like going to different communities is what I would do.
Yeah.
Apartment complexes, like putting a post-it on their, community board.
Mhm.
YMCAs, like they're
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
those areas, right? They might be at libraries. They might, so you really
And
want
you
to
can
know
ask.
the things.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you want to come in and be like, where are they? So therapies. So if I help parents with special needs, if I'm going to corporates and wanting to help, asking those corporations, do you
Mhm.
mind if I place these flyers here? Can I put this here? Again, it goes back to that relationship.
Relationship.
Because
Mhm.
if they don't experience you, if they don't believe in your cause,
Right.
this is why I always go back to that legacy. What is the end of your legacy?
Right.
What is your deeper vision? We're not just here to make money, because if we are, we honestly, we can stay at bedside. We can make money somewhere else,
Right. That's one
But
thing nurses can always do is make
it's
money
so
in so many
right.
different ways. But yes, I'm with you.
It's
But you know what? One
okay
thing you
that.
just said is doctors. Like think about the who else knows? The
Pediatricians,
pediatricians. Ask them. Ask them. Like where do you send? You know,
right? Where are you
what are some
sending
other
them to?
organizations? Where are you sending the kids? Absolutely.
Exactly.
So yeah, I love
Autism,
that.
there's Autism Speak, there's Regional
Yes.
Center,
Yes.
there's the Hope Services. There's so many different nonprofits that are out there for these different needs. It's like reach
Yes.
out to them. So it's like this outside of the box thinking of what I always tell people is, depending on what area in corporations, and corporate also meaning healthcare. So if
Mhm.
you want to be in healthcare and you're like, I just want to change from the inside out, great. How can we change your role to be a nurse coach, which I've helped multiple people do
Mhm.
from the inside out? Okay, you still have to do the exact same thing,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is the first thing. You're going to laugh at me. You want to know what it is?
I think I know it. Go ahead.
Open your mouth and say hi.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
That's it. It all starts from a hello.
It does. It really, and it's
That's
so
it.
simple and so often overlooked. And people are like, it can't be that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Start there. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. When me and you met, what was the first thing we said to each other?
I don't know,
Hello.
but it was
Hi.
something funny.
I
Yeah.
think we were just talking about Nina, but in
Yeah.
general, like I think Nina introduced us,
Right.
but in general, it was literally
Yeah.
just
And,
a
and
hi, hello.
it was a hi, hello. And then the conversation just unfolded organically.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
that
mean, really, it
there's
was. Yeah.
I don't know, like, yes, I teach pitches. Yes, I teach heart-centered sales. I
Mhm.
teach all of this, right? But the number one thing I said, look, you guys can have everything, but if you're not going to go out there and just say hi, hello, and ask the
Yeah.
question,
Yeah.
it's very challenging. Now,
Right.
I know a lot of people are going to say this. We're nurses. We don't know how to ask,
No, that's not true.
but we do.
We do.
We
Yeah.
ask for orders, we ask for things.
Yeah.
Then the other one I always get, well, we don't know how to ask for money. I call bullshit, because if our paychecks was wrong, we're asking for our money.
Immediately.
We're not going to work free.
Right.
We will always check, is this a double shift? Is this a third weekend? Is
And
this
we're
that?
always calculating, like,
We're
okay,
calculating
and it's
it.
like, how many shifts do I need to do in order to do this?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
No.
still true. And we've bought into a lot of limiting beliefs and
Yes.
behaviors. And I think that's one of the things that I love most about when I'm working with my clients, is that we get to start unpacking these things and
Yeah.
untethering from these things that never served us never served us well in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
where hiring a good coach,
mhm.
hiring a person, hiring a mentor, whatever it is, like
Yeah.
you got to really truly, from bedside to entrepreneurship, like you have to heal the burnout.
Yeah. Oh
You have
gosh.
to
Yeah.
heal that burnout.
Yeah. And
And
don't
I
create more.
and don't
Don't
create more
create more.
burnout. Like, don't think like, oh my God, this is going to be an easy path. Let me go into entrepreneurship because I'm going to make more money, which is fine. Yes, you
Right.
can make a very great amount of money. Okay.
Yep.
I've done very well. And you want to do it for the right intention. Like, I do it for the freedom. I'm doing it
Absolutely.
for the generational wealth. I'm doing it to showcase to my children that there are other opportunities out there. And if there's not, co-create it.
That's exactly.
Look,
So
co-create it.
someone's going to. It might as well be you.
Because the last thing anyone wants is, that was my idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was supposed to do that. And then they just sit down and they're like, dang, I wish I did this then.
I know. You know what? I had a conversation with someone not too long ago, and they said that whenever they get an idea, they implement very quickly, and I think that's a whole other lesson
Yeah.
that we all need to learn, like speed to implementation. That's one of the things I teach in the Quantum Leap Collective. But speed to implementation is huge. But what they went on to say is that they know that if they don't move forward with something, if they don't move forward with something, then God's going to give that idea, or whatever you believe, is going to give that idea to someone else, because it has to be brought forth into this world. And if you're not willing to do it, they'll find he, she, whatever will find someone to do it.
That's where the be and now action comes into place.
Yeah.
Anxiety builds. A lot of people have to realize one thing. It's psychological, okay? And this is just a true brain in psychology. Anxiety builds because there's no action being taken.
Absolutely.
So if we're taking that same concept, speed is money, speed is time, speed is freedom, speed is all this.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to increase speed and go to these quantum leaps, but don't have the actions to take in between, you're going to end up exactly right where you are. Yeah. Like, it's just you're just going to go into a different realm, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to come back and you're going to be sitting right here, and me and you will have the same conversation. And the universe is going to keep teaching you these lessons, right? But the number one thing I want people to realize is, if we're not action takers, if we're not in the now, if we're not present today, again, just 30 minutes ago is already the past. That's already occurred. That people are already listening and they're like, whoa, that's done. Listen to me now, what I'm saying in this moment. Anxiety builds when we're not taking action.
Absolutely. So go take some action.
You got to do it. Whether it's you have a thought, take action. Because if not, then, because if we don't take action,
it's got that rumination.
That it's now you're going down the downward spiral or the negative spiral, like energetically, the negative thought process, correct?
So true.
Imposter syndrome. Oh, maybe I'll do this tomorrow. Maybe I'll do this. I call that the excuse land, right? Yeah. We're going to put it on the excuse land, or we'll put an added day on the calendar. I don't know why people think it. Someday I'm going to do it. I'm like, where is someday on this calendar? Where'd you get this 8th day from?
Right.
You know, where's this guy? It doesn't exist. Like, put it on a Monday through Thursday, Monday through Saturday. Like, put it on a calendar, on a actual physical calendar.
A real calendar, right? Because we know what your schedule gets done. Yeah.
Because then it's going to get done.
Yeah. I call it the rabbit hole of hell. Like, we start going down, like spiraling down the rabbit hole of hell. And you never take the action, because now you're so far removed from what it was that you were even supposed to do. And psychologically, you're out of the game. Emotionally, you're out of the game. Mentally, like you're out of the game. So now you got to spend all this time getting yourself back to where you were had you just taken the action when you got the thought. And take a
personal thing.
Absolutely. Yep. And take imperfect action. Because I can hear them already. But what if it's not? It's got to be perfect. I'm not saying to not operate. I think all of our intention is to operate in excellence. But there's a difference between operating in excellence and perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. There's nothing is perfect ever. It can be. And here's the other thing too. You can't optimize something that doesn't exist, right? So whatever it is that's in your head, put it out, do it. And then you can look at it and say, okay, now I need to tweak this, change this, eliminate this, add this, whatever. But you can optimize it once you've actually taken the action. But you got to take the action.
You have to. And you also have to remind yourself, when you're talking about perfectionism, there is no perfect balance.
Nah, no. It
Like
sure
I
isn't.
tell people, they go, "But I need the balance," and you
No.
teach balance. And I said, "Do you eat as much as you sleep? Are you on the toilet as much as you shower?
Right.
Are you in the car as much as you're on the couch?"
Right.
Right? The answer is no.
Right.
So I tell people you have to learn the harmony of your life.
That's it.
Once it comes in, there's highs and lows, and when there's a medium, everyone's music tonology is different.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find the right tune for you.
Yeah.
And that once you find that right specific tune, could be funk music, it could be jazz music, whatever the beat is.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that it's a choice for you to speed it up and it's a choice for you to go down. But when
Yeah.
you go down, to know that you have to be able to have those tools to take you out and put you back into the regular tonology. And when
Mhm.
you're on the higher frequency, enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, you can't figure that out in your head.
No.
It comes from being in action, which is what we're talking
Yeah.
about. You've got to be in action. That's even how you discover or identify. Okay, what's my groove? What is my tone? Again, you can't think it up.
It's like
You got to
going in
do
like
it.
different channels, right? Like when we were
Yeah.
well, at least back in the day, we had to like dial in,
Right,
find the right channel, right?
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, what was this? And you're like, like that, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, oh, and you're like, oh, this sounds good,
Exactly.
right? So it's just like you got to remind yourself that we got to go back to basics, which is just turn the knob till we know and we see. And if you pass it, then guess what? Rewind it.
You
It's
want to
fine.
you can go back? Yeah, nothing. I would say nothing's ever permanent. It just isn't.
No.
Go back, speed up, rewind, circle back, whatever needs to be done. So, oh gosh, Bina, this has been so good. You have brought up so many interesting points, so many insights. You've dropped so many nuggets, and for that, I want to thank you. And I'm sure you've opened up so many people's minds to consider things that maybe they had not even considered before. So again, I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. So I always like to do something really fun. I think it's fun, which is rapid fire questions. You ready?
Ooh, I love those.
Okay, good. I'm glad you love it. All right. So let me see. No, I'll start with this. I would like to start off with, who was your celebrity childhood crush?
I'd have to say Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah. Did you ever
Yeah.
have posters on your wall as a teenager? Or
I
you didn't get into
was
that?
never I was never really that type of girl. I never
Really?
really got
Yeah.
no, I was highly more into sports and
Okay.
I was really just highly athletic.
Yeah. What'd you play?
I played volleyball, track, and badminton.
Volleyball, track, and badminton. I was a
Yeah.
tennis girl myself. Played tennis, but I
So
had posters like Bobby Brown and New Edition and Malcolm
see,
Jamal Warner from the Cosby Show and
yeah,
on
see,
my
I
wall.
I didn't really have a lot of those because I grew up very cultural.
Hmm.
So I had a lot of like Indian celebrities up on my wall,
Okay,
like a
they
lot of
count.
Bollywood celebrities up on my wall.
Yeah,
Because I was I was a really good, I guess I still am, but I was a really good dancer back in the day.
you can
I wanted to
dance.
be a Bollywood dancer.
Oh, I love it. I didn't know that.
That's what I wanted to be. I actually really wanted to be a Bollywood dancer.
That is so cool. Hey, it's never too late.
Well, I am still a pretty good dancer, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I wanted to do it as a
As a
profession.
profession,
I
yeah.
was like pretty high up there and,
That's awesome.
and then life, then,
Yeah,
parents were like, you
life
can't
started
make,
life.
it was more of like my mom and dad was like, you can't make money doing that. Like, go here. But I've always wanted to be a nurse. Like, it was
Yeah,
like that torn thing, where I was like, no, I need to
gotcha.
be a nurse. And then that just was just my hobby.
Yeah. It's all good. I love it though. I didn't know that about you. So one of my questions was gonna be, tell us the one thing that we don't know about you, but that was one. Bollywood dancer. You want to be a Bollywood dancer. So
Yeah.
that's super cool. So if you were stranded on a deserted island, what's the one thing that you would absolutely have to have?
Underwear.
Good one, Bina. I don't think, out of all the times I've asked that question, I am 100% sure that no one has ever mentioned underwear. But I'm so glad that you brought that up. So yes.
No, there's no commando. No,
Oh my
Underwear.
God, that's hilarious. I love it. It's such a practical answer, and I get it. So
Yeah.
awesome. I love it. Okay. What's something that you wish you were better at?
Something I wish I was better at is
Mhm.
having a little bit more patience.
Mm,
You know,
okay.
and I have a lot of patience. Like I have a lot of patience, you
I'm
know.
sure you do. You have 3 kids,
I
special
have
needs.
a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
of
sure you do.
patience, but I
Yeah.
really wish like I am able to just take that patience, and I've done a lot of work over this past 10 years,
Mhm.
but I feel like I just want to do more. Like I want more. I want more of that intuition. I want more
Mhm.
of that so I'm able to just be and be myself
Mhm.
and be in that loving state all the time. Yes, I'm going to go angry comes up, but just to if I'm mad, I don't want it to be overpowering for like 5 days.
Yeah, 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 for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
wanna be able to be mad, move through emotions, and boom, done.
And
Okay,
you're back.
let's move on.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm still really truly working on is feel
Lovely.
the emotions, be in the moment, write it out, journal it out, use all my
Mhm.
tools, and
Yeah.
when I am fully or dysregulated,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just about to say,
yeah,
like, dysregulate your nervous
yeah,
system, but go ahead. Mhm.
but when I'm fully dysregulated, how do I get to my center of gravity, or how do I get to that center core
Mhm.
faster?
Mhm. Got it.
That's
Lovely. Well, I
that's
will
it.
say, I love that you shared that, and may I offer something?
Absolutely.
And it's something so simple, but so powerful, and it is taking intentional breaths.
Yeah.
I mean, like, which is no one ever, it's not sexy, but I tell you what, when you are working from a regulated nervous system, and the way that you even build that resiliency in your nervous system is things like taking intentional breaths. So
Yeah.
whether that's box breathing or 4-7-8 or
Yeah.
alternative nostril, whatever you got to do. But yeah, that's something that
Yeah.
is extremely helpful. And even well, anyway, whole nother topic for a whole other day. Maybe we'll circle back to that. What's one of your guilty pleasures?
Ooh, murder mysteries.
Oh yeah.
You know, there was a meme on this, actually on how a lot of moms, like stay-at-home moms, and I
Mm,
think it was, Nick Jonas.
mm,
we loot this up. He did this commercial, and it's how, like, all these sexy things and comes up, and all the moms, all they wanna do is watch a murder mystery.
that's
Go,
hilarious.
"Good murder mystery."
I love it. So do you have like a favorite, or like is it a series, or is it
I like you know what? I like true crime.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
like to, like it's just like a really good, like, murder mystery movies,
hmm,
like, showcases, like, just all of it. Just it's just, like, the unsolved mysteries. It's
yeah,
just there's something about it, you know? And then there's also that romantic comedy that's just,
yeah.
fun and makes you feel good.
That's all right. I love it. I love it. I would have not pegged you as a murder mystery girl, but I can kind of see. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I can just see it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can totally see it. So
Yeah.
yeah, lovely. Last question. What's the best compliment you've ever gotten?
It's probably one that came up recently, um, which is actually my husband told me this, but it's came up a couple of times, should I say,
Hmm.
is that I'm a born again comedian.
Oh, you are pretty funny. I gotta admit, and without even trying to be. That's the
Yeah,
cool thing.
it's just
Yeah,
like this natural born again comedian
love it.
thing, and I take it as a compliment. I take it as a really good compliment because people are just like I kinda just say what I have to say, but in a
Mhm,
very comedian
mhm.
way, and they were just like, "Well, you pulled that off. There's no way I could have said that."
That is funny. I love that. And I can, like I said, vouch for that as well. So super cool. Well, Bina, this has been great. I know you have something really fabulous that you're going to share with our audience. You want to tell them what that is? The link that you sent? Do you remember? The look on your face. Guess what? Bina has a really phenomenal resource for you guys. It's a guide, it's a 10-step guide.
Oh, my 10-second. I'm like, "Which one?" I was
Right.
like, "There's a lot that I have. I don't
Yeah.
remember."
Here's the thing. We're gonna link it down below, and
Yeah.
so it's all good. You got to grab the guide for sure. And how can people find you if they're like, "Oh my god, I love this girl. She's so funny, and I love true crimes, and I want to get into corporate wellness." Well, how can people find
Yes.
you? Yeah.
You can actually find me on every platform.
Okay.
I'm pretty active. It's Bina Bendale. All my socials are Bina Bendale. On IG, it's the only one is Nurse Coach Bina.
Okay.
But I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn. You can find me if you Google me. Apparently, I'm still up there on Google. You just type in Bina Bendale, and it goes straight to my website, which is Bina Nurse Coach. And yep, I didn't think about that until 5 years later. Probably should have done Bina Bendale, but you know what?
Oh,
Lessons
good.
learned.
Guess what? We're
All
gonna link.
lessons learned.
That's right. Imperfect action. And guess what?
No,
It don't even
it was
matter.
like my URL is so backwards, but it works.
It's all good. And we're going to link everything down below. So for those of you listening or watching, have no fear. We got you covered. There'll be multiple links and you can find her that way. And so, Bina, thank you.
Mm.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. You're welcome. I just love sharing space with you, your energy, your brilliance, all the things I certainly appreciate. And I wish I had some chai right now. We were talking about chai on Friday. Oh my gosh. But again, thank you, my dear, for your
Oh,
time.
thank you.
You're welcome. And for those of you that are listening or watching, thank you. And as always, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time on another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. Bye for now.